Have you ever thought about the little things you might do in your golden years that others notice, but never quite mention to you? You know, as we journey through life, there are times when our habits and behaviors might give off the impression that we're a bit out of touch, hard to approach, or maybe not as appealing to those around us. What's the issue? Many folks are just too courteous to speak up, so you might never catch on to it. Well, let me share some good news with you. Once you spot these behaviors, you can effortlessly make adjustments, helping you to show up with confidence, grace, and a keen sense of self-awareness. In this video, we're excited to share 6 things that people often notice about older adults, but don't usually talk about. Little habits can really shape how people perceive you, how they engage with you, and even how you feel about yourself. The most exciting part: everything can be mended. With just a few easy adjustments, you can keep a vibrant presence, stay connected with others, and feel fantastic no matter your age. Stick around until the very end, because once you spot these signs, you'll see aging in a whole new light. You'll discover how others see you and pick up some simple tips to keep yourself looking sharp, stylish, and respected as the years go by. Hey there! Before we dive in, I'd be super grateful if you could give this video a thumbs up. I'd love for you to join me in sharing these timeless lessons with others. If you haven't subscribed yet, I warmly invite you to click that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you won't miss out on any of our videos. If you enjoyed this video, I'd love for you to drop a comment with the number 1. And if it wasn't quite your cup of tea, feel free to share a 0 so I can make my future videos even better. Alright, let's dive in and get this journey underway. First off, let's talk about neglecting personal grooming. One of the first things folks tend to notice, though they might not always bring it up, is when someone lets their personal grooming slide a bit. As we get older, it's common to let little things slip by, such as keeping our nails trimmed, our hair looking nice, or ensuring our clothes are fresh and clean. What's the issue? All those little details can really stack up, making someone look older, more fatigued, or even a bit less inviting. Imagine someone like Walter, an 82-year-old gentleman who has always had a reputation for looking quite dapper. As time went by, he let his eyebrows grow untamed, allowed his hair to take on a bit of a wild look, and found comfort in wearing that same old shirt day in and day out. His family saw it, his neighbors saw it, but not a single soul spoke up. One day, as he stood before the mirror, he caught a glimpse of just how much he had changed. It was that moment that sparked his decision to get a fresh haircut, a clean shave, and to revamp his wardrobe. In no time at all, he felt a lift in his spirits, stood a bit taller, and began to notice how people were reacting to him with more warmth and positivity. When grooming takes a back seat, it's really more than just how we look on the outside. It's all about how folks pick up on your energy and confidence. Research indicates that when individuals feel well groomed, they tend to carry themselves in a way that makes them appear more engaged and full of life. Messy hair, long nails, and neglecting skincare can give someone an older look and make them seem more reserved than they truly are. What can you do, my friend? Let's keep it straightforward. Getting regular haircuts, keeping your nails trimmed, and wearing clean, well-fitted clothes can really change the way you show up in the world. If skincare hasn't been on your radar, a simple moisturizer and some lip balm can work wonders to keep your skin from getting dry and flaky, making you look and feel a whole lot more refreshed. Wearing facial hair? A neat trim can really elevate your look and give you that polished, put-together vibe. No need to waste hours in front of the mirror. Taking a bit of extra time for personal grooming can really make a difference. It can help you look healthier, boost your confidence, and make sure you're putting your best foot forward. 2. As we grow older, we often find ourselves facing a familiar yet rarely discussed challenge. The way we communicate can shift, leading to moments where we might speak a bit too loudly or unintentionally interrupt others in conversation. Sometimes older adults may find themselves speaking a bit louder than they intend, inadvertently interrupting conversations or taking the lead in discussions without even realizing it. This often occurs due to gradual hearing loss, which can make it a bit tricky to gauge how loud someone's voice is. The challenging bit: many folks might keep it to themselves. It's just one of those things, you know. They might put up with it, but you can be sure they notice. Imagine someone like George, a lively 77-year-old who truly enjoys spending time with his friends and family. As time went on, he began to speak louder and louder, often interrupting others mid-sentence without even noticing it. His family picked up on it, his friends picked up on it, but nobody wanted to make him feel awkward. One evening at a dinner gathering, he couldn't help but notice that folks seemed to inch away a bit when he started to speak. That's when he noticed that his voice had grown much louder than he ever imagined. Once he had his hearing checked and decided to be more mindful of his volume, he stumbled upon something quite intriguing. Conversations flowed easily, and folks appeared more at ease in his presence. You know, hearing loss often sneaks up on us, and a lot of folks don't even notice how it's impacting the way they talk. When someone talks over others, interrupts a lot, or raises their voice too much, it can feel a bit overwhelming, or even like they're not really listening. Conversations ought to be a delightful back and forth where everyone gets a chance to share rather than a race to see who can talk the most. What can you do, my friend? First, take note of how people respond when you share your thoughts. When you see folks leaning back, quieting their voices, or having a tough time finding a moment to speak, it might be a good idea to consider turning down your volume a bit. If you think you might be experiencing hearing loss, a straightforward hearing test can really help you take charge of your speech again. It's also a good idea to practice pausing, listening, and allowing others to finish their thoughts. When people share their thoughts, it really brings conversations to life, making them feel more genuine and engaging. Speaking at a comfortable volume and leaving room for a true exchange of ideas adds to the warmth of the interaction. Having a good chat makes social interactions a lot more fun for everyone involved. And you know what the best part is? When you speak with awareness and confidence, folks will be drawn to you and eager to chat even more. If you're still with me on this video and enjoying these insights, I'd love for you to drop a number 2 in the comments to say hi. If you haven't subscribed yet, I really encourage you to do so and hit that bell icon so you won't miss out on any of our videos. Your support allows us to keep crafting great content that informs and inspires you. All right, let's keep going. Thirdly, wearing clothes that are either outdated or don't fit quite right. As we get older, one of the simplest things to forget about is our clothing. It's quite common for older adults to hold on to their favorite outfits for years on end. Whether it's the comfort they bring, the familiarity of those well-loved pieces, or just a shift in priorities away from fashion, these choices tell a story of their own. The issue at hand. Clothes have a way of communicating something about us, even if we don't always notice it. Wearing faded, stretched out, or outdated clothing can give off an impression of looking older and less polished, even when someone feels fantastic on the inside. Imagine someone like Harold, an 80-year-old who had always taken great pride in his sense of style. As time went by, he began to overlook his wardrobe, opting for those old, baggy clothes that had long since lost their form. His family saw it, his friends saw it, but nobody spoke up. Then one day, he slipped into a sharp button-down shirt and a fresh pair of pants, and just like that, something shifted. Folks had a lot of nice things to say about him. He felt a bit sharper, and he even stood a touch taller. He didn't need to change much, but those little updates really made a big difference. It's true that the clothes you wear can shape how people see you. Research indicates that folks tend to link well-fitted clothing with a sense of confidence and vitality, whereas baggy, worn-out attire might come across as a bit sloppy or disinterested. You Don't have to run after every modern trend, but having a clean, structured and intentional look can really help you feel more vibrant and respected. So, what are your options? Begin with the little things. Just a few carefully selected items, like a sharp button-up shirt, well-fitted pants, or a trendy jacket, can really give your look a fresh boost. Keep an eye out for colors that really flatter your skin tone and choose fabrics that not only feel good, but also have a bit of structure to them. Sometimes just refreshing your shoes and adding a stylish watch or belt can really change the game. If you're feeling a bit lost on where to begin, reaching out to a fashionable friend or a helpful salesperson can guide you toward choices that truly resonate with you. It's not about copying someone else's style. Wearing clothes that fit just right, look sharp, and boost your confidence is so important. When you do, not only will you look better, but you'll also feel better, and others will definitely take notice. Number 4. It's all about not complaining or criticizing too much. One of the fastest ways to drive people away, often without even noticing, is by always complaining or criticizing. It's quite common to find ourselves pointing out everything that's amiss, whether it's the quirks of modern technology, the ways of younger generations, those little aches and pains, or simply reminiscing about how things used to be. What's the issue? Even when it's not intended to be hurtful, this kind of talk can really suck the energy out of a conversation, leaving folks less excited to hang out with you. Imagine someone like Roger, a lively 75-year-old who always had a story to tell and opinions to share. In the beginning, his remarks were merely little observations. Remember when things seemed a bit better? It feels like young folks today don't put in the same effort, and everything just seems to move at lightning speed now. As time went on, it seemed like his family and friends began to spend less time with him. They still cared for him deeply, but they started to steer clear of lengthy chats, knowing all too well that it would lead to a familiar stream of grievances. One sunny afternoon, his grandson looked up at him and asked, "Grandpa, do you even like anything these days?" That really struck him deep. He came to understand that he had lost sight of the wonderful things in life. You know, negative energy really has a way of spreading, doesn't it? When we share our frustrations, even just a little bit, it can really shift the vibe for everyone. Nearby, it makes interactions feel a bit weighty, and folks naturally lean towards the brighter side of things instead. It's not about pretending that everything is sunshine and rainbows, but finding a way to mix in some positivity, hope, or a little humor can really make conversations more enjoyable. What can you do, my friend? Embrace the moment. Notice how frequently you mention complaints or share criticism when you chat with others. If you find it happening often, try to change your perspective a bit. Rather than claiming everything was better back in my day, consider saying things were different in my day, but I'm really curious about how this new way works. Rather than dwelling on the negatives, try to find something intriguing or funny in every circumstance. Folks love to be in the company of those who lift their spirits, spark their inspiration, or connect with them on a deeper level. It's important not to hold back your thoughts. It's all about finding that sweet spot between worries and gratitude. When you do, folks will find chatting with you even more enjoyable. People will be drawn to you because your energy is refreshing and invigorating, not exhausting. If you're still with me on this video and enjoying these insights, I'd love for you to drop a comment with the number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I think it would be a great idea to hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you won't miss any of our videos. Your support allows us to keep crafting great content that informs and inspires you. All right, let's keep going. Number 5, overlooking posture and body language. One of the most subtle yet noticeable signs of aging is the way you hold yourself. As time goes by, it can become quite common to fall into the habit of slouching, shuffling your feet while walking, or adopting a closed-off stance. What's the issue? People don't just listen to your words. Your body language speaks volumes, and your posture plays a big role in that conversation. When someone has a slumped posture, moves slowly, or avoids eye contact, it can give off the impression that they are frail, disengaged, or lacking in confidence, even if that's not how they truly feel on the inside. Imagine someone like Eleanor, an 83-year-old who has always been full of life and energy. As time went on, she began to see that folks were stepping in to lend a hand, even when she was perfectly fine on her own. People who didn't know her thought she was more delicate than she truly was, while her family often handled her with extra care. It wasn't until she stumbled upon a photo of herself that it all clicked. There she was, standing with rounded shoulders, arms crossed, and a hint of a hunch in her back, and suddenly everything made sense. That's when she understood that her body language was conveying a different message than she intended. Once she began to consciously stand taller, walk with intention, and keep her gaze steady, she noticed a change in how others interacted with her. They started to see her as an equal, rather than someone who required assistance. It's true, the way we hold ourselves can really change how others see us. Research indicates that individuals who maintain strong posture and exhibit open body language tend to come across as more confident, energetic, and even younger compared to those who don't. Slouching can give off an impression of tiredness, while standing tall radiates strength and vitality. Just by keeping your hands visible instead of crossing your arms, you can really change how engaging you appear in conversations. What can you do, my friend? Begin with little steps. Be mindful of how you hold yourself, whether you're sitting, standing, or walking. Just a little trick. Picture a gentle string lifting you right from the crown of your head. This gently supports your spine in a way that feels completely natural. As you stroll along, make sure to lift your feet completely off the ground, steering clear of that all-too-common habit of shuffling. When you're chatting with someone, make sure to face them directly. Keep a friendly eye contact and sprinkle in some small hand gestures to keep the conversation lively. The way you present yourself can really shape how others perceive you, whether they see you as vibrant and self-assured, or perhaps a bit aloof and disconnected. With just a few little tweaks, you can effortlessly come across as more present, capable, and friendly, all without uttering a single word. Number 6. Unpleasant breath or body odor. It's often a bit awkward to bring up, but it's something that many people notice right away. Unpleasant breath or body odor. As we get older, our sense of smell tends to fade a bit, which means we might not pick up on changes in our own scent. Some medications, what we eat, and even not drinking enough water can play a part in this problem, yet most folks tend to keep it to themselves. Instead, they'll just maintain a bit of distance or find gentle ways to wrap up conversations. Imagine someone like Frank, a lively 78-year-old who was always the heart and soul of every gathering. He cherished those moments of reconnecting with old friends, but he began to realize that folks weren't standing as close to him as they once did. His neighbor, once a great conversationalist, now kept their chats brief and a bit aloof. It was only when his daughter sweetly recommended that he give a new mouthwash a shot and stay hydrated during the day that he began to see the light. Just a few little tweaks, such as keeping hydrated, popping in some sugar-free gum, and opting for a more effective deodorant, really turned things around. All of a sudden, folks gathered around a bit tighter. Interactions felt more inviting, and he found his confidence returning. Dry mouth is actually one of the main culprits behind bad breath, and it tends to show up more often as we get older. When your mouth isn't making enough saliva, bacteria can gather more easily, which can result in lingering odors. Just like that, Shifts in what we eat, how we digest, and our metabolism can lead to changes in body odor as time goes by. Even something as straightforward as wearing the same clothes a few too many times before tossing them in the wash can make a difference. So, what are your options? Keep one step ahead. Staying hydrated by drinking plenty of water during the day can keep that dry mouth at bay. Plus, popping some sugar-free gum or mints can really get those saliva glands working again. Using a mouthwash that's free of alcohol helps keep your breath fresh while ensuring your mouth stays nice and moist. To tackle body odor, try wearing breathable fabrics, showering regularly, and switching up your deodorants now and then. These simple steps can really help keep those unwanted smells at bay. And remember, washing your clothes, bed sheets, and even hats or scarves regularly can really make a bigger difference than you might realize. The main point to remember: good hygiene is more than just the feeling of being clean. It's all about how people see you and the impression you leave behind. Just a couple of little tweaks can ensure that when you enter a room, folks lean in with interest instead of stepping back. If you're still with me on this video and enjoying these insights, I'd love for you to drop a comment with the number 6 below to say hi. If you haven't subscribed yet, I really encourage you to do so and hit that bell icon so you won't miss out on any of our videos. Your support allows us to keep crafting great content that informs and inspires you. All right, let's keep going. Wrapping things up. Having taken a look at these 6 subtle yet powerful habits, why not pause for a moment and think about them? The way we show ourselves, chat with others, and go about our daily lives really shapes how people perceive us, even if we don't always notice it. Now, let me share the most exciting part with you. All of these habits can be turned around. Little tweaks such as focusing on our grooming, changing the way we chat with others, refreshing our wardrobe, staying positive, improving our posture, and maintaining good hygiene can really transform how we feel and how people react to us. Perhaps you've spotted a habit or two that feels familiar to you. Oh, that's just perfectly normal. It's important not to let discouragement take hold. It's all about feeling empowered. It's wonderful that you're here, taking the time to watch this video and reflect on these important topics. It shows you truly care about keeping your mind sharp, feeling confident, and staying connected with the world around you. Getting older doesn't mean you fade away or lose your impact. It means polishing it up. With just a bit of effort, you can. Keep earning respect, nurture wonderful social connections, and feel your absolute best each day. We're so glad you could be here with us today. We can't wait to hear from you. We'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell us one thing you learned today and how you're thinking of using it in your life. We truly value your thoughts, so feel free to share them with us anytime. Your comments truly inspire and uplift us. If you had a good time watching this video and found it useful, we'd love for you to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Your support allows us to keep crafting great content that informs and inspires you. We really appreciate you tuning in, and we can't wait to catch you in the next video.